Guys, what is up? It's Andrew Murray here, and I'm here to give you a breakdown of what's going on in crypto right now. Well, today is February 20th, Saturday. It is the morning, so the stock market's over, but the market is not sleeping. People are into Bitcoin. So here's the thing. Right now, it's up at $71,000 Canadian for one Bitcoin. 71,000. That's pretty significant. And there is some big news. The Bitcoin ETF, Purpose Investments, has just launched. It just launched this week on the 18th. So that was 2 days ago. And since then, we have seen a rise in Bitcoin. Now, I mentioned in my other video, let's just go to the Bitcoin price here. This is Bitcoin versus the US dollar. So I mentioned that there's a lot of people that have money in the sidelines. So people that have money in the stock markets, particularly in registered accounts, like let's say Roth IRAs, or in Canada, the TFSA, registered savings plan, and they don't want to pull that out, cause tax implications, and then buy Bitcoin. Okay, that's risky on a bunch of different levels for them. The main one being just, they're not used to it. So that's something different. But when this new ETF, BTCC, came into effect and launched on the 18th, well, now they can move from Apple stock or whatever they have, or Tesla stock or Google, or whatever blue chip companies they have, and they can move some of that into Purpose Investment, BTCC. So I mentioned that there's two versions of the BTCC. And one of them is in Canadian dollars and one of them is in US dollars denomination. Very low management fee. Someone on YouTube disagreed with me about that, but what can you say? I mean, this is a premium product. This is a new asset class, so it's not going to have the lowest fee of, the lowest ETF. Like, that's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. So it is a very low fee, 0.7%. All right, so here's the deal. Here's what's going on right now in the market. Now, I don't know if this recent rise in the last couple days is because of this ETF launching, but there are some signs that it could be playing a part. The US bond sell-off is continuing. I don't know why people are investing in bonds right now. It seems like a terrible investment to me, but a lot of people have been trained to think of bonds as a very safe, secure investment, but it is dropping, and this is causing some speculation that the stock market could be reaching a peak. And I think there's a lot of validity to that, because if you look at what's happened with coronavirus, it's not great for business. When I look at what's happening in my investments that are in businesses, like business loans, the amount of defaults is higher. It's not something that I'm going to avoid entirely, but I'm definitely taking a second and third look before I'm investing into companies that are taking on debt. So that's one thing to consider. And a lot of these, the problem is, a lot of these companies are realizing how problematic it is to have this massive growth at all costs. Starbucks has closed 24 stores in Toronto, which is significant. These stores are closed. They're gone. There's a Second Cup in Bedford near me that is gone. It was gone very early in the pandemic. Companies like TSN, the sports network, they let go of Christian Jack, a very, very popular commentator, because they're cutting costs in all kinds of directions. So I think that the stock market stability right now, it still shows signs of being in a growth phase, but I'm hesitant for how long that's going to continue. Right? I think there's just a kind of exuberance, and I think a lot of people are bored, so they're spending their time investing in. There's more people that are kind of at home not working, so they're focusing on the financial markets because they're at home. right? So I think that's playing into it. Now, here's the other thing. Everyone is talking of Bitcoin as cryptocurrencies go mainstream. And I'm seeing a huge rise in this. People asking me about Dogecoin that, don't even have any cryptocurrency. And that's kind of a sign that, like, wow, you're kind of at this bubble. So we have two things going on here. We have Bitcoin that's just hit $1 trillion, past $1 trillion in overall market cap. It's growing significantly. There still is signs of volume coming in here. Okay, not necessarily as much, but there's still volume to support this growth. However, when you look at the fear and greed index, it is incredibly high. Okay, and this is something that is concerning. What I expect to happen is it will continue to go up for the next while, but there will be a correction at some point, and you want to be aware of that. If you have a lot of money in cryptocurrency, keep an eye on that so you can decide if you want to take some profits off the table, or wait until that drop and then reinvest when there is that market correction. One thing I did want to say about Purpose Investments, it's been around for 2 days, and apparently they have added 2,416 Bitcoin since yesterday. Listed under their portfolio breakdown, and this is a person on Reddit. So what's significant about that is that it seems that there is quite a demand for this stock, and so that is a significant sign that there's a lot of old money, or money that was currently in the stock market, that's staying in the stock market, but that's being directed to Bitcoin, and that's going to be propping up support for the price of Bitcoin, right? And I mentioned that in my other video. I'll link to that as well. So let's look at the BTCC. We'll look at the btcc.b. This is the Canadian version, Canadian denominated version. So I mean, as you can see, it just opened on February 18th, as I said. It's gone up. It's hard to kind of get some data on it because it is so new. When you look at how many Bitcoin they've been adding to their position, this is significant. I think that this is really something to keep an eye on. So again, I'm a big fan of holding physical Bitcoin. I think you should have it on an exchange. I don't think you should have it only as an ETF. However, if you do have a registered account, putting it in an ETF will allow you to get tax-free growth on Bitcoin, which is significant. So I think that's pretty important. The reason they need to buy Bitcoin is because they have it physically settled and safely held in cold storage, right? So as more people move into this ETF, they need to back it up with physical Bitcoin. So I think that that's important to understand. You can see that they're adding to their portfolio, and that's going to be pretty significant. I'm of two minds about this. I think there will be a correction coming. I don't know when it's going to come, but right now I am still purchasing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies because I think that we have some more room to run here in this bull run. So that's all I got for you. If you have any comments, or if you agree or disagree, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, peace.